Greetings, YouTube. Kevin Smith has a podcast, Fat Man on Batman, and recently he interviewed Paul Dini. I think it's Dini, it's D-I-N-I. I'm not positive how you say that. And they were discussing the reason that cartoon shows, particularly on the Cartoon Network, don't have a lot of strong female characters. And the reason is that they are actively trying to avoid having a female audience. They want to focus the show so it just draws in boys. The reason? Boys buy more toys. And so they're actively discouraging female fans. And they were actually told that the female characters that are in the show must always be one step behind the boys. The boys must always be ahead in every way. I'm often asked, what do I mean when I say institutionalized sexism? Well, there you have it. Now, girls don't buy the same toys as boys, but they buy toys. And they buy other things other than toys. And if anything we have learned from Doctor Who, that if you make appealing characters and good storylines, you will attract an audience across sex, gender orientation, age gaps. So there's no reason you can't have shows aimed at boys and girls that cross the gender gaps, ignore the gender gaps, and can pull in both genders with equal interest. You just market them different things. Now, I'm told repeatedly that the private sector can do no wrong, that every decision they make is based on pragmatic decisions. Well, here's a really crappy example of how they're failing miserably to meet their target. So instead of diversifying, instead of increasing the number of people that are interested, opening up markets to new regions, which would seem to make sense, they're ignoring that, closing an entire market down, half the entire human population, in favor of concentrating on the other half, because they don't want to change their business model. Where's the dynamic growth? Where's the innovation? Where is the pragmatic decision-making I've been told repeatedly that the private sector is supposed to do so well? Instead, they foment institutionalized sexism and ignore the entire potential audience for their show. Now, if you were to tell an executive, by the way, we have a plan that's going to mean half as many people watch a football game, they would fire that person without even blinking an eye. For what reason would they want to lose half of their audience? They wouldn't. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to discriminate against girls because they don't buy the same toys as boys do. It's nutty. So go read the article if you'd like. I'd like to hear other people's discussions on this. There is no other way to put a spin on this. This is heartbreaking. Intentionally disenfranchising an entire gender just because a business is too conservative, too staid in their mode of thinking. The corporate dinosaurs. Except when the dinosaurs died, at least they became something useful. I don't think these guys are. So, tell me what you're thinking on this. Go read it. It's depressing, but go read it anyway. And then tell me, what are your feelings on the idea of executives intentionally turning away an entire gender?